Hey, how's everyone doing this fine morning? Look at that. Does anyone recognize where we are right now? I'm going to get up here in a second. We're just waiting for everyone to wake up this morning. And whoever hops in the live stream, if you're in here, go ahead and leave me a chat. Let me know if you can see me all right. It looks like it's live, so let's go ahead and pop up here, see what's going on. Good morning, everyone. Hope everyone's having a good Sunday. We are live down here at beautiful Lake Mead. Let me go up on top of the hill here, give you a little view of the lake, and I'm going to show you why I'm down here today. Check that out. Got a bunch of people out here fishing already, but that's not why I'm out here early. No sirree. Some of you might already recognize this bay. Can anyone in comments tell me which bay this is? For the viewers of our channel, you already know this is Skyward Bay. But wait, what's going on here? Where's Skyward at? This might tell part of the story. Why is there a front loader way down here at the water line? And where's Skyward? Well, if we go down and take a little bit of a closer look here, what do we have right down? Can you all see that on the live stream? There was never a boat wreck sitting down here before, and Skyward seems to be missing. Can you put two and two together, folks? Does anyone know what I'm getting at yet? Oh, let me zoom out here. Sorry about that. Let's go down the hill here and take a look. And we are live from the field here. You know, unlike a lot of YouTube creators, I'm out here putting in the groundwork. So if the stream gets a little bit iffy or it gets pixelated, just stick with me, please. And it'll come back eventually. The service is a little bit spotty down here. We are live down here from the lake. And this is exactly what I brought you all down here to show you. And I don't know if any of our regular viewers are in here or Adventure Club member Dawn yet. But Dawn and a couple of our other viewers were asking just the other day, hey, what do you think the next boat that's going to be pulled out is? Do you think there's any chance that they're going to remove Skyward? Well, I got your answer here, folks. I'm trying to zoom back out here, so stick with me. The YouTube app is really temperamental sometimes. There we go. Oh my gosh, it just doesn't want to zoom all the way out. Okay, well. So what this looks like to me is they came down here and they tried to recover Skyward. And what happened was, because it was standing straight up, as you remember right here, it looks like they were using this front loader over here in the reeds as an anchor point. And it looks like they might have brought some kind of crane barge out here and floated it in Skyward Harbor right here. And they must have floated in the harbor here and then came and tried to snatch Skyward out. And just because it's been in here and so old and so weak, the torsion must have snapped it. And so now this looks like Skyward is sitting down here, at least the bottom half. From what I can tell, this is the bottom half of Skyward. Looks like it's snapped off right here. And part of it, they had anchored here. That's probably why that happened. And it looks like the other half, the top half, it looks like they must have dragged out of the harbor this direction. They must have a recovery barge. I think they're pulling them out. But I shot some video up top at the entrance to this area because it's all closed down now. You either have to hike or bike all the way down here to the water line, so it's hard to get down here. And now you know why. It's because they're down here cleaning up all the boat wrecks. And there were actually 2 boat wrecks up top now. The last time I came down, I was just down here a couple weeks ago swimming with Skyward. If you haven't seen that video, go ahead and check out our adventure videos. It should be the first one up there. You'll see me swimming with Skyward. That was just the other week here, folks. And a lot of you were asking, do you think they'll actually remove Skyward? Because it's become kind of like an icon of the drought here, you know? Everyone likes seeing Skyward and come to take pictures of it. And it was kind of like a treasure hunt. People would try and come down here and try and find Skyward. And you could really tell the difference in the changing water levels because Skyward was sticking up in this bay here. So that the marks would be very easy to see, and you could float back here in your boat, or you could, back when it was open, a lot of people camped up here on the bluffs. So you would be able to just come here and hike down and get a quick visual and say, oh, wow, it's low right now. Oh, no, it's not low because I can't see Skyward right now, and so on and so forth. But like I told you, folks, the Park Service is serious about cleaning up Lake Mead this year. And I'll get as close as I can without dropping my phone in the water here on live stream. But you can tell there's the bottom of Skyward right here, ripped in half. And then after it ripped, it must have fallen over. They must have tried to pull the bottom half also, and it's just stuck in there now. I'm guessing they must have ran out of time and it was getting dark down here. And I'm also going to show you something on the loader over here that they were using that might have influenced why the second half didn't come out right now. But they did get the top of Skyward out. So like I said, they didn't even wait for the water to drop. Last time I was down here, I thought they were going to wait till later in the summer when this bay drains again, because at about 10,050 feet, 10,045 feet, this whole area right here will be dry. You can walk around. But they did not wait at all. They came down here, they had recovery gear. Like I mentioned, I think they must have a floating recovery barge. And they also brought this wheel loader, which I'm surprised, way down here to the water line. And it is very soft down here. And I'm gonna show you why this might actually still be down here. It might not be because they were gonna use it still for the recovery, but see, they have a little rope here, and it's hard for me to see the screen, so I'm going to check the comments in just a minute. If you have any questions or you just want to say good morning, go ahead and leave them down there, and I'll check them in just a minute after I show you this over here. But from the looks of this recovery rope that's sitting right here, it looks like they must have been using the front loader here as some kind of anchor or a winch point. And then they must have been using the floating barge to actually pull it up and out of the mud. And you can see what happened. Skyward snapped out there. But yeah, that's a look at Skyward Bay here. It's empty now, folks. Back to a quiet bay. And it is, it's always nice down here. There's always a lot of fish jumping around, and there's always cranes checking the sides. And in the mornings and in the evenings, you'll see the coyotes come down here, come down the cliffs and go fishing. So this is just a peaceful little area. It's just a shame that it's so low right now. And this actually was also a local spot where people would come to camp, and then you would rock jump right from here. But clearly you can tell now that's a terrible idea. But indeed, this whole area here was underwater. And where I'm standing, you can actually look around this bay and you can see the telltale sign, how everything is lighter. All this was underwater. I would be completely submerged right now. But since about 2022, this area has been nowhere near full. So I wanted to show you this loader too, because first thing I wondered is, now how in the heck did they get Skyward out of there? Well, that's part of the story right here, but unfortunately, if we go and take a closer look here, I don't know how well it'll come up on the stream, but that thing is touching frame. So I made a joke earlier when I was recording. I said it must be like a 1-for-1 down here at Lake Mead. You come to recover something, and then you come get something stuck. So it does look like they might need a little help getting this loader back out of here again, because this thing looks mired, and they had the bucket down in front here using it like a spade. So obviously they must have been using the loader as an anchor too, like I said, as a winch point or something to help drag Skyward out. But yeah, this was quite an operation, you can tell. And this wheel is off the ground here. And I did go and check on the other side. It'll be hard to do on the stream because it's so overgrown. But over on the other side of the loader here, this wheel is basically about halfway up to the hub. So this loader is mired in here real good. So I have the feeling they're gonna need to have to bring another piece of equipment, maybe just a grader or loader. I saw some more stuff way up top there in the parking lot because they're staging all the boat wrecks up there. So they're probably gonna have to bring another piece of equipment all the way down here and help get this loader out. I'll try and show the other side in a second. But if you're wondering how they did it, they came right down the hill here, and it is really steep. So it looks like a two-part operation. Brought the loader down here as an anchor and a winch point, and then floated a salvage crane or a crane barge into the bay here, and working together they were able to pull Skyward up out of the mud. Unfortunately it broke in half and fell, but then pull the top half out. And I'm guessing they're going to come back in just a few days here and finish this operation, because obviously this loader can't be staying down here. But wouldn't that be ironic if they came down here to remove Skyward and pulled Skyward out, and then we ended up with a loader down here instead? Here, look, I can, ooh, it's real overgrown. Look at that tire. So you can see how far this side got mired trying to pull Skyward out. And Skyward was not a small boat by any means, probably about 30 feet in length at least. And I'll go up on the hill at the end here when I check the credits, but from what I can tell, the bottom half, it looks like there's two jet drives sticking off the back of Skyward. So if they didn't get that engine out of there, it's probably literally like an anchor, because that the jet drives in the engine probably so heavy still, and that's probably where all the weight of that boat wreck was. And you might be able to see on the stream, unfortunately, when the water starts dropping, you get to see all the trash at Lake Mead. It's really dismal, but that's why we also volunteer. Not in this area, because this is really hard to get down to. This would be a good spot for people with a boat. They do adopt a cove. So there's adopt a spot, which is what we do on foot. We'll come down in the Jeep and collect everything by foot. And they have adopt a cove for the boaters, where if you have a boat, you can float into a bay like this and, you know, anchor and clean up this area. So we focus on the recreation areas where people get to by foot and by off-road, and the boaters focus on the adopted coves, because there's a lot of spots. I mean, basically the whole lake is a lot easier to get to by boat. It's so remote. So there you have it, folks. I know we had our Adventure Club member Dawn asking about Skyward just the other day, and someone else commented, was it Mark My Words or Sammy Head? Someone was also asking if you think they're going to pull Skyward out, and I said no, I think there's other boat wrecks that are easier and more important and more visible, like down by the beach. But here you have it, folks. I told you I'd be the first ones to let you know, and there it is. Skyward's gone. So I figured I would run down here on the adventure bike yet again and let you know that Lake Mead beautification continues. Say bye-bye boat wrecks. That's 1, 2, 3 we saw down here in this area. And then over in Boulder Harbor, if you go look at one of our latest videos, I just made it last week, there was 3 other boats over in Boulder Harbor. So just in the last 2 weeks of me going around to the spots I usually go to, I've seen 6 boat wrecks recovered and staged out on the dry land, waiting for I'm guessing a salvage vehicle, to dump truck or something, to come pick them up. So that's all I wanted to share today. Hope everyone is having a beautiful Sunday, and I told you I'd come up here so you could get a little better view of Skyward underwater there. Yeah, you can see it on the stream, hopefully, right there, at least half of it, and it ripped in half right here. So I thought I would come show you that, because it was just I guess good timing that I had come down here to swim with Skyward. And another funny thing is, let me go up this hill without falling on live stream. Ay, ay, ay. You want to see Lake Mead proper? Hopefully I can retain my service here. Oh, look at that beautiful view. Bunch of boaters out. And this direction leads to the Las Vegas Wash. The flow is actually coming this way. So it's kind of all the urban runoff and reclamation water is coming from the city through the Las Vegas Wash. And it's flowing out to Lake Mead proper here. This is Boulder Basin in the background. And then right here was what I called Skyward Bay. See, it's kind of cut off from the main body of water now. Whew. I am sucking air after that hill climb. Oh, I think I need to get some more bike riding in. So this area is nice and calm. People like to come back here and fish now. But like I just pointed out, you can tell from the whiteness on the hills, when Lake Mead was at capacity, this was all full. And where we're standing right here, you wouldn't even really be able to tell that this was a harbor at all, because this would all just be underwater. This would kind of just be like a, I don't know what you would call it, a little side bay here, I guess. But now all the water is, as Lake Mead proper starts falling, like we're doing, this area starts to empty out. And then eventually, if it gets real low, it will barely even enter this bay right here, and the Las Vegas Wash will simply just flow all the way right out to Lake Mead. Okay, I told you I'd check your comments. I'm gonna give you a little view up in the shade, and then I'm gonna check the comments, and then I gotta start packing up and getting on up out of here, because I was working on the other boat wreck video where we found the handgun on live stream. But it's just like, I guess it's how it goes down here. The water starts dropping. It's been kind of dead for a year. No one's really interested. Now it's just like everything's happening at once. And here is the remnants of Skyward, folks. The icon of the Lake Mead Drought. If you're just hopping on the stream, I'm just out here today in the field because I told everyone I would let you know as soon as I saw the Park Service was deciding to remove Skyward, the icon of the drought. And there's half of Skyward there, was sitting right up here in the bay. And when I go home and edit the footage, I'll be able to do a before and after. But like I pointed out before, when they tried to remove it, part of it ripped. So it looks like they got the top half out and the bottom half is still down here. Let me try and zoom in one more time. Oh, where'd you go, Skyward? There you are. It's real hard to see out in the blazing sun. Here's what's left of Skyward, everyone. And I can't put my finger too much because it'll screw up the zoom, but where is it? Oops. Right in the back here, you can see two things sticking out. That looks like two jet drives. So well, that looks like it was a fun boat, doesn't it? And right at the bottom here. Oop. Right at the bottom there we go. You can see the edge where it ripped on off when they tried to recover it. So let me get zoomed on out here again. Take you back to normal view. Okay. So there it is, Skyward Bay, now empty once again. Just a beautiful, calm bay. And like I said, a lot of people, they were all about having these boat wrecks removed, because obviously you don't want boat wrecks sitting out here in our body of drinking water. They have fuel and oil, and the batteries are in a lot of them, and on and on. So you generally, wouldn't want this stuff sitting here, but people had become attached to Skyward in this bay because it was able to show a real good indication of what Lake Mead was doing year over year. You could just come down here and look, and you could immediately know. You didn't need to look at the water level report or consult the data or anything. You could just basically come look in this bay and say, wow, Lake Mead is not having a good year. So for that reason, people grew kind of fond of Skyward. And even though they wanted all the other boat wrecks removed, they kind of didn't want Skyward removed. Whoa, sorry. I didn't mean to disturb your breakfast. Oh, that was a cool bird, though. Okay, let me pop up the comments. Hey, can everyone hear me? I haven't been checking the comments, so I hope everyone can hear me, okay? I usually check at the beginning of the stream, but I was kind of in a rush. So if anyone's in here and you can hear me, go ahead and leave me a chat. Leave me a comment in the chat and say, hey, I can hear you. Hey, I can't hear you. Let me know how it's going. It looks like my audio's on. I guess I should have checked before I talked for a half an hour. Yep, it is gone. Let's see. Who do we got in here? Boulder Cottage. I'm sorry, it's hard to see in the sun. Boulder Bridge. Oh, Solder Bridge. I'm sorry. Oh, we got Solder Bridge. Good morning. And we have Boulder Dam Cottage. Hey, everyone, hit that like. Yeah, what they said. Martina. Good morning, Martina. Good to see you. You see what's going on down here, Martina? They are serious about removing the trash this year. We've already seen 6 boat wrecks staged and removed, and this was probably the most infamous one, Skyward. And when I saw a picture, a nice lady in the Lake Mead boating group posted a picture, I thought this was Skyward's engine, because I could only see really the corner of it like this. So I thought this was, they actually had pulled the motor out of Skyward because it was too heavy, and they were going to separate the motor and then pull that out later. But this is actually a wheel loader that they brought all the way down here, and it is mired. I showed it earlier, so once the stream's over, you can go back and rewatch the stream. I went right up on there, and you can see this loader's mired in here, so it's kind of funny. I was joking around. It's like a 1-for-1 at the recovery at Lake Mead. You come down to recover a boat, and you get a loader stuck. So now we have a loader stuck down here, but hopefully that'll be a little easier to pull out of here. But wouldn't that be something if the USBR all of a sudden decided that the dam needed to throttle and the water started coming up, and then we came out here and the water was over here? That'd be a travesty. All right, Mrs. Mojo Shorts. Oh, we got a new viewer. Good morning, Mrs. Mojo Shorts. And Clinton Price, I can hear you talking. Thank you for all the videos. Yes, sir. Thank you, Clinton, for joining us this morning. And I'm going to wrap it up in just a little bit. But if you're just joining us, you can always go back and watch the live stream replay. I'm going to put that up in just a minute. But that was the news this morning, folks. I biked down here and hiked the rest of the way just to see if Skyward was gone. And the nice lady from the Lake Mead boating group was right. She has been checking on it also. I'll have to leave a link there because that's how I got tipped off. But at least half of Skyward is gone. We'll just go with that. So in any case, Skyward is going to be completely gone eventually once they figure out how to pull this out with the other wheel loader. I'm guessing that'll happen sometime this week. And then Skyward Bay will once again be empty. There you have it. I appreciate everyone joining me this morning. And I am going to go back before it gets too hot here. And I am going to work on the last video that I was working on before I just noticed Skyward was gone. And that is the video where we went looking for our other favorite boat wreck, Offie, and we ended up finding a handgun on the live stream. So I will share that one public very soon. Look for that one this week. And appreciate everyone tuning in. There's not really much of a water level report to do today because I was just down here swimming with Skyward just the other week. I was literally right out here. So not much of a change. It's actually still 1,055 feet above sea level. So the Park Service did not wait. I thought they would wait for this to drop. They did not wait for this to drop all the way and come pull out Skyward. They came in with the barge while this was still in the water, and somehow working together with that loader, they were able to pull part of it out. So they are serious, not even waiting for the water to drop. So in 2028 and 2027, if the water gets even lower here, it's going to be pretty incredible what else is discovered, because now all this stuff that we've been poking around for the last 2 years since the first drought, all of it's getting pulled out. So if it ends up going even lower here, it's like we're going to have a whole new treasure hunt. All right, everyone. Thank you once again for tuning in. I hope you have a wonderful Sunday. It is getting toasty out here in the desert.